Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks so much for tuning into the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Nick Eden and welcome to episode 21 of Morning Cup of Merch. Alright guys, so we are on day 4 of our top 10, top 5 series. Again, I've really enjoyed doing this week. It's made me just kind of start to compartmentalize and organize everything that I've been doing. And it's actually helped me out a lot more with my organization. Just putting together, because sometimes you can use these tools and these resources haphazardly and not really think about it and organizing it to maximize your time. But putting these lists together has made me actually do that. So I'm very appreciative to everybody and all the positive feedback that you guys have given me in terms of this top 10 top 5 series. And so we're going to keep it going today and please forgive if you hear the thunder out there. It's not the best weather today, a little dreary, but that's okay. It's gonna make it, all better when I go see Avengers Endgame tonight. But anyway, today we're gonna be doing my top 5 tools for design. Okay, and you guys, if you follow the channel, I've told you before, I've been a graphic designer for over 20 years at this point, and but what I have come to learn in this merch journey is that you need to use all the tools necessary. It's not so much about the actual software or hardware that you're using to do these, but it's about the creativity as a designer and the efficiency when it comes to pumping out those designs that you need. So we're going to go right into it. Number 5 is Photopea. That's Photopea.com. Photopea.com. I use Photopea because I can open and create PSD files. It works very similar to Adobe Photoshop. So if you guys are used to Photoshop, there's your place. Here's the reason I use Photopea. I use Photopea because I may not always be at my computer. And so because of that, every computer doesn't have Photoshop on it. But I can go to Photopea and I can, put together some stuff, relatively quickly. And it's actually a really good resource that I like to use. And I would definitely recommend it, especially for people who are just kind of on the go like I always am. Number 4, and this is for you Android users out there, LogoPic Plus. LogoPic is an app that you can get in the Google Play Store. Prior to switching to Apple and getting an iPhone a couple of months ago, I've been rocking Android all this time. And so a couple of years ago, when I was like, hey, I want to start doing some text-based designs just really quickly and pump them out and not have to pull up Photoshop every time, I was looking through and I found LogoPic Plus on the App Store. I was able to crank out a lot of designs, and to be completely honest with you, for a while, particularly with a lot of political trends that I was doing, the designs that I did on LogoPic Plus actually were outselling the ones that I was doing on Photoshop. Now, here's the thing about it. And I haven't used it, it's been about a month since I've used it because I still have my old Android phone. But you cannot do it at 4500 by 5400. So you will have to resize it. So if you are proficient in Photoshop or maybe Photopea, or if you go, I want to say it's merchresize.net or .com. I've never used it, but I've heard good things about it. You can go in and actually resize your designs then. So that's just something that everybody should know just ahead of time, that you cannot do it in 4500 by 5400. Number 3 is one that I've been using recently, and I was supposed to put a video up the other day. I'm going to try my best to get the video out today. But TypeORama. Now, I know everyone will say, well, I used TypeORama back in the day, but they said it was only good for personal use. This is what I like about TypeORama. Recently, they've changed that. So if you have version 2.05, which I would assume is the latest version, I know I have the one that's free for commercial use as well, but I also have the paid subscription. So that would be my suggestion. Go in, make sure you have the most updated version. I would suggest going with the pro version. I mean, it's $2.99 a month, or it's $14.99 a year. Like, just go ahead and do it. But you're able to crank out so many text-based designs. Like, it's ridiculous. Over the last week and a half, 2 weeks at this point, I've cranked out close to 350 designs. It's ridiculous. Now what I do, because I don't want my stuff to look like everyone else's, I'll then go into Photoshop. I will recolor them. I will add graphics. I will do things to make the graphics stand out more. But in terms of getting that base, just that base quick text-based design, it's I absolutely love it. So TypeORama is my number 3. Number 2, the Over app. I absolutely love this app. I started using Over maybe September of last year, but I went full force with it when I got the iPhone a couple months ago. I have the Pro version. Over, man, it's ridiculous. Even with a lot of situations where I'm doing stuff on TypeORama, because you can't do 4500 by 5400 in TypeORama, I'll then save the graphic and then I'll go into Over. I can just go ahead and size it for merch in terms of standard tees, pop sockets, and hoodies, and just resize away, and it just makes the resizing go that much faster. So that's another resource that you can use when you're needing to resize your graphics. So I have the Pro version of Over as well. It's more than worth it. It's more than worth it. You can add graphics, you can add pictures, the whole nine. It's really one of those top-notch type of apps in terms of designing. So I can't rave enough about that. A couple of honorable mentions before I go into there. I've not used them much, but I do have to give a shout out to makemerch.com, make-merch.com. I've recommended them. I've used it to help some people kind of get an idea of what they should be doing with it, and they use it full time. Make Merch is one of those really efficient tools for Merch by Amazon specifically. It's great even if you're not selling on Merch, if you're on Etsy or Redbubble or wherever. It's absolutely wonderful. So I would definitely recommend Make Merch as one of my honorable mentions. Another honorable mention would be the Teespring Designer. Now, there are some good parts and some bad parts to it, okay? The good part is you can crank out a lot of designs. The bad part is you can't save the PNGs, so you can only load them onto Teespring, which is still fine with me because I still sell a healthy amount of t-shirts on Teespring. So if I want to go in there and crank out, 15, 20 designs within an hour, I can just knock that out really quickly, and it's right there. The graphics are, they're compliant with everything, and they have a licensing agreement with emojis. So you have the emojis that you can use. So I definitely would say use that. Another honorable mention would be Merch Informer's interior designer. Please forgive the dog that's out there. It's my neighbors. But Merch Informer has a designer similar to the way that Teespring does, and you actually can save the PNGs. So that portion of it is, I just have to say really quickly, what I love about Merch Informer is it's not just a research tool anymore. Neil and his team, they have really evolved that into just an all-encompassing entity for your print-on-demand experience. So yeah, I would definitely put that down as one of my honorable mentions. And my number one tool for designing for Merch by Amazon. Sorry, call it the purist in me. I'm still a Photoshop junkie. Adobe Photoshop. Listen, people will say, "Oh, it's $20 a month." It's worth it. If you know how to use it, you can do some amazing things in it. Now, I don't use Illustrator. I use it for a lot in private label and putting out layouts and everything. But when it comes to my merch designs, Photoshop will always be my number one. I love it. I can sit down with a blank canvas and create what I would feel to be a masterpiece. And it's always going to have a special, but I don't think that I'll ever do any designing where I'm just fully on my phone or fully anything like that. No. Photoshop, that's always going to be my go-to when it comes to putting together those high-quality graphics and finishing off something that I may have done in another design tool. So those are my top 5, including my honorable mentions. Those are my top 5 design tools for Merch by Amazon and the print-on-demand industry. Tomorrow's going to be the last day on our our top 5, top 10 list, and tomorrow will actually be a top 10. So we started the week with a top 10, and we're going to end it with a top 10. I appreciate everybody who has, been going along with the series. I appreciate everybody who's been listening. Don't forget, I have that big announcement this coming Monday about Morning Cup of Merch and the 4554 podcast. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel, everyone who is listening on the podcast version of this. Please, if you have not already, if you're on iTunes or Google Podcast or Stitcher, anywhere that you're listening to the podcast, please subscribe. I would love it if you left a review, an honest review, and just tell me, hey, I love what you do. Hey, I hate what you do. I just want to hear the feedback on it. So I really appreciate that. Take care, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow.